What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and I'm going to be doing a Rescue Ace deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play that we just got out of Amazing Defenders. This deck is a deck you guys have been requesting a lot recently down in the comments, and I'm super excited to show you guys my list. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description every single video, getting a signed card in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing a single copy of Rescue Ace Turbulence, our main boss monster. This card is extremely searchable in the deck, which is why we're just playing a single copy in this build, but it has the ability you can banish up to two Rescue Ace cards from your graveyard to be able to special summon this card from your hand, which is super easy to summon this card to the field by just banishing two Rescue Aces. It also has the ability that during your main phase, you can set up to 4 Rescue Ace quick play spells and normal traps with different names directly from your deck to your side of the field. So by summoning out this card, you're essentially getting a +4, which is absolutely insane. It also has the ability that if another card that you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, except during the damage step, then you can target one card on the field and destroy it, which is a really good effect to be able to pop a card on the field. We then play 2 copies of Fire Engine. Fire Engine is a definite 2 of the deck that has the ability if a Rescue Ace monster is normal or special summoned to your field, then you can special summon this card from your hand. And if a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, then you can special summon out 1 level 4 low Rescue Ace monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is a great effect to just instantly get this card on the field. And basically, if your opponent's special summons, you get to summon out another Rescue Ace, which is just really good. We then play a single copy of Fire Attacker. Fire Attacker is a good 1-of in the deck that shares an effect just like your copy of Fire Engine, that if a Rescue Ace monster is normal or special summoned to your field except another copy of this card, and except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if a card is added to your opponent's hand except by drawing it, and during the damage step, then you can draw 2 cards and then discard a card, which is a pretty good effect to be able to get you a +1. We then play 3 copies of Rescue Ace Airlifter. This card is a great 3 of in the deck, and one of the best cards we have in the entire build. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Rescue Ace spell from your deck to your hand. And when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, you can tribute this card from your hand or face it from the field to be able to special summon a Rescue Ace monster from your hand, except another copy of this card, which is a pretty good effect. We then play 3 copies of Rescue Ace Impulse. This card is probably the best card in the entire deck, and has the ability that during your main phase, you can choose the effect, 1 effect monster that your opponent controls with the highest attack, your choice if it's a tie, and neither player can activate that monster's effect on the field this turn. And when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, you can tribute this card from your hand or face it from the field to be able to special summon a Machine Rescue Ace monster from your deck, which is a great effect to be able to instantly get your copy of Hydrant, which is why I say this is one of the best cards in the entire deck, because it instantly gets you to your copy of Hydrant. We then play a single copy of Rescue Ace Monitor. Monitor is a good 1-of in the deck. I have considered cutting this card, but I really like it as a 1-of in this particular build. If this card is normal or special summon, you get to add a Rescue Ace trap from your deck to your hand, and when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, you can tribute this card from your hand or face it on the field to be able to target a Rescue Ace monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is a pretty good effect, but I feel like 1 is totally fine in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Rescue Ace Hydrant. Hydrant's one of the most important cards in the deck that you want to put on your field to be able to fuel all of your other Rescue Ace cards. It has the ability that while you control a Rescue Ace monster other than Rescue Ace Hydrant, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks, and also your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. And you can only use the following effects this card once per turn, that you can activate a quick play spell or trap that was set by the effect of a Rescue Ace card the turn it was set, which is great to be able to use, especially with your copy of Turbulence, because it makes it so all the cards you set off of Turbulence can be activated the same turn that they're set, which is really good. It also also has the ability that during your main phase, you can add a Rescue Ace monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is great to be able to search out your copy of Turbulence. We then play 3 copies of Gizmek Sunrise. This card is a great 3 in the deck, and it's basically 3 more copies of your copy of Hydrant, because you can tribute 1 machine monster whose attack equals its own defense to be able to special summon your deck 1 machine monster whose attack equals its own defense with a lower level than the tributed monster. This card is a level 2, and your copy of Hydrant is a level 1 and has 0/0. So you can actually tribute the copy of your Gizmek to be able to summon out Hydrant, which is really good. We then play 2 copies of the Theron King. We do play quite a few machines in this deck, so this card comes in extremely handy to be able to put on your side of the field as a walking negate and a 2800 attack point boss monster, and it's a definite 2 of in the deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda is extremely important as a 1-of in the deck because some of our Rescue Ace monsters are actually warriors, which is really good to be able to search them with your copies of Rhoda. We then play a single copy of 1-for-1. 1-for-1 is really good to be able to get our copy of Hydrant on our side of the field as quickly as possible. We then play a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is a good 1-of in the deck to be able to search our field spell, Rescue Ace HQ. We then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is a good 1-of in this particular deck to be able to stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays, especially when you're activating the effect of Turbulence to be able to set 4. You don't want to get Ash Blossom to be able to put those cards on the field, which is just not good. So you don't want to get hand trapped or effect veiled or anything like that to be able to put those cards on the field with your copy of Turbulence, which is why Called by the Grave is a definite 1-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is a really good 1-of in the deck, and it's really helpful in this particular build because you can basically use Double or Nothing in this particular deck to be able to summon out a bunch of different cards with Utopia Double. So this card is a definite 1-of in this particular build, but Utopia Double is extremely powerful in this particular deck because you can summon out good old-fashioned Utopia at 5,000 attack points with your copy of Utopia Double by just detaching a material, searching out this card, and then summoning Utopia on top of Utopia Double. Utopia will come out at 5,000 attack points. You can then attack the opponent, negate the attack with Utopia's own effect, drop Double or Nothing, and then swing again for 10,000 because you dropped Double or Nothing to be able to OTK the opponent. Plus, we have a lot of level 4s in this deck, so it's really easy to make Utopia Double. We then play 2 copies of Rescue Ace HQ. HQ is really good as a 2-of in the deck, because it has the ability that while your opponent controls a monster, all Rescue Ace monsters that you control gain 500 attack and defense. And during your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Rescue Ace monster in addition to your normal summoner set, which is a pretty good effect. And once per turn, you can target 4 of your Rescue Ace cards that are banished or in your graveyard and shuffle them into the deck and then draw a card. So this card is a definite 2-of in the deck because it's so easy to get to, but it's an extremely powerful card. We then play 2 copies of Rescue Ace Alert. Alert is a definite 2-of in the deck and a card that you're always setting off your copy of Turbulence, and it has the ability, this card is always treated as a Rescue Ace card, but it lets you add a Rescue Ace monster from your graveyard to your hand, or if you control a Rescue Ace Hydrant, then you can add a Rescue Ace monster from your deck to your hand instead. We then play 2 copies of Rescue. Rescue is really good as a 2-of in the deck because you can also set this card off of Turbulence, and it has the ability, this card is always treated as a Rescue Ace card, and it has the ability that you target a Rescue Ace monster in your graveyard, or if you control a Rescue Ace Hydrant, then you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard instead and special summon it to your field, which is a crazy powerful effect. We then also play 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Prosperity is a really good 3 in the deck to be able to dig into the deck and get the exact cards that you need, especially since the extra deck is really toolbox for what you have in there. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Extinguish. Extinguish is a really good 2-of in this particular deck that you can actually set with your copy of Turbulence, and it has the ability if you control a Rescue Ace monster, then you can target an effect monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Then, if you currently control Rescue Ace Hydrant, then your opponent cannot activate the effects of that destroyed monster or of monsters with the same original name this turn. We then play 2 copies of Contain. Contain's a really good 2-of in the deck, but you only really need 2 of each of these cards cards, and contains a really good 2-0 because if you control a Rescue Ace monster, you can target an effect monster that your opponent controls, and this turn, that effect monster cannot attack. Also, its effects are negated, and if you control a Rescue Ace Hydra, at resolution of this effect, that monster also cannot be used as a material for a Fusion, Synchro, Exy, or Link this turn, which is a really good effect. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is a definite 3-of in this particular deck, because Impermanence just basically stops your opponent's monster effects, and combo with all of your other Rescue Ace cards, this card is just really good. You can also set this card to your side of the field to be able to lock down entire spell and trap card columns, which is really insane. So, that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Sunlight Wolf is really good in this particular deck, even though it's not a Salamangreat deck, because this card has the ability that if a monster is normal or special summoned to a zone that this card points to, except during the damage step, you can add a fire monster from your graveyard back to your hand, which is a really good effect if you'll just target a fire monster in the grave, because all of your Rescue Ace monsters are fire, and add that card back to your hand, which is just such a good effect. We then play a single copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code is just really good as a 1 of the decks. You can pop multiple cards on the field with this card, and it's a great boss monster. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff. This card is just insanely good. 1 copy of Phoenix to be able to pop spells and traps. This card is also really good as a 1 of in here. 1 copy of IP Masquerena. IP Masquerena is a good 1 of to be able to make your copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn. We then play a single copy of Link Revo because we do have level 1s in the deck, so this card can come in handy to be able to protect you from an attack. 1 copy of Relinquished Anima. This card's a great card to be able to play as a 1-of because you can gobble up an opponent's monster this card points to, which is pretty good. We then play a single copy of Baguska. Baguska is really good to be able to basically stall out the opponent, and it's just a great option for the extract. 1 copy of Abyss Dweller because this card just helps out all of your firefighting cards because it is water, and it's just really good because it does shut down the graveyard. We then play a single copy of Utopia Double. Utopia Double can summon out a bunch of different cards because it has the ability to quick effect, detach material from this card to add a double or nothing from your deck to your hand. Then you can special summon from your extract 1 Utopia XZ monster. It doesn't have to be Utopia that you actually summon, number 39, the original. It can be some other cards like your copy of Dragnar, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Utopia just in case we want to OTK the opponent with the copy of Utopia Double, because it's really easy to do with this particular deck. We then play a single copy of S39 Utopia the Lightning, because sometimes you need a 5,000 attack point monster to be able to just go in for games. So this card is super helpful in the deck. We then play a single copy of number 99 Utopia Dragnar. You can summon this card out to your side of the field with your copy of Utopia Double, which is really good. And this card is a great effect, that quick effect. You can detach 2 materials from this card to be able to special summon from your extract 1 number monster that has a number between 1 and 100 in its name, and it's treated as an XZ summon, and the turn you activate this effect, other monsters that you control cannot attack directly, and also you cannot special summon monsters in extract except XZ monsters, which is not that big of a deal, because usually we're just using this card to be able to summon out our copy of number 38, so we can have a spell negate on the field. This is the card that we're always summoning off of Dragnar, and it's just really good in this deck. We then also play a single copy of Double A Zeus. Double A Zeus is just really good because we play so many XZs in this particular deck, and it can help us board wipe the field. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have not played Rescue Ace yet, you definitely should give the deck a try because it's super fun, especially being able to just set 4 with your copy of Turbulence. And this build is a really awesome build that you guys should definitely give a try. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.